What's up, Otaku fam? We are back with more reactions here for the channel with some more of the Odd Ones Out. It has been a while, a long while, since we had some James here on the channel, but this video is very recent and it piqued my interest. My thoughts on tattoos. Now, look, I'm just saying, I'm just gonna put it out there. I think we have some authority and can have our own opinions
the other places.
on. Yeah, hers are down below. You can't see those, but we're tatted up. Okay, so I'm just curious. James, on the surface, does not seem like a person who would have a lot of tattoos. I think he's got one or two, from what I'm aware of.
With the regrets.
Good old regrets.
At first, I thought they said regrets. I was like, you know what? Pop off.
So, to each their own when it comes to tattoos. I know the spectrum is wide on the opinions on tattoos. But hey, y'all be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and while you're down there commenting, let us know your opinion on tattoos and how many you have and what's your favorite tattoo if you have one. It doesn't have to have any special meaning, because really I think that's like the biggest thing when you're just starting to get to tattoos. Like, oh, your first one, you need to have to mean something, and that's probably going to be the only one that means something, because everything else is just because you have a design aesthetic in your mind and you're just going for it. This entire sleeve is Japanese. That's it. That is the entire. That's the only thing about this thing that matters.
I was gonna say all my tattoos have meanings.
I don't. I have like two that actually mean something. Everything else, no. Let's hop on in.
Here's a little social interaction life hack I've discovered. If you're meeting someone new and you want to get to know them better, and you see any semblance of a tattoo peeking out of their sleeve, compliment it. If that person doesn't want to talk about their tattoos, they'll say, "Oh, thank you." Anyway, this is my stop. But if they do want to talk about their tattoos, their face will light up and then they'll do the rest of the talking. I realize that by giving you this advice, now anytime I compliment someone else's tattoos, it will seem disingenuous, but it's not, most of the time. I love all of your tattoos. That's right, I'm talking to you. I love your tattoos, dude. Whether it's how you got
Thanks,
the
bro.
tattoo, the meaning behind the tattoo,
that's
or
a great
being
voice.
a tattoo of something you like, every tattoo is a story. And most people love telling stories about themselves. I wouldn't know anything about that, personally. I never understood why some people liked talking about their tattoos until I got one of my own.
Okay,
you
yes.
think I'm gonna make a whole video about tattoos when I didn't even have any? That's right.
Baby.
I'm a marked man, Mom. What are you gonna do about it? Stop unconditionally loving me? Yeah, right. Wait, what are you doing with that cheese grater? Okay, but in all seriousness, can you make sure Grandma doesn't see this video, Mom? I don't want to upset her on the way out. Back in the day,
On the way
tattoos
out?
used to be a
Legitimately, I think we've told you this. So, my dad and I got tattoos together. So, for my first tattoo, my dad went with me when I turned 18.
Got his first tattoo too, right? That was his first one.
Yeah, so we both got
Yeah.
tattoos together, and that was the greatest.
It's like Jay and his mom.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people love that, and I love that too. That was a great bond.
Yeah.
So, my grandmother does not like tattoos. She does not like any sort of body modification, hair color, stuff like that. We got over that. It was a while. But we got over that. I took the septum out, but yes. We got over it. We hid the tattoo, I want to say, for 6 months. And I can't remember. I think it started with Dad, because my dad would go out and he mows, or he used to mow my grandma's yard a lot, and so of course
Shirt's gonna come off.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when you mow the lawn,
For context,
shirt's gonna come off.
my father-in-law's tattoo that we're referring to is a rib tattoo.
Yeah. So he's got his first tattoo was like a huge Bible verse down his ribs, and then I have a quote on my hip and everything. But yeah, he took his shirt off. And my grandma, I wish I could remember the conversation. I'm gonna have to ask him, because I know she saw it and she said something, and he was like, "Your granddaughter."
Threw you under the bus.
I know.
Expeditiously.
So that's how she found out that we had tattoos, and then we had to show her, and then ever since then hasn't really had a problem with them, and I just keep coming back with more, and she compliments them all the time. So
I
know the one on my
woke
thigh. She
boomers
was
in our
like, "Is
family.
that part of your leggings?" And I was like, "No,
That's on my body.
that's on my body." But she loves all of them now. It was just funny. She appreciated the art a lot more than I thought she would.
Yeah.
But we did hide that for 6 months because we were like, we cannot tell her she's going to have a heart attack.
When I got my first tattoo, I went out and got it, and then went home and it's like, "Hey, Mom, I got a tattoo today."
Yeah.
I was over 21. I used my own money.
Yeah.
She couldn't say anything about it. So she didn't. She was like, "Okay, let me
so
see
funny.
it." that was it. My first tattoo was this one on my shoulder.
Mm-hmm. I got mine in all the terrible places first, which makes all the other ones easy peasy. But
You and your dad both fucking ribs.
Symbol of rebellion and meant you couldn't get a job. No regrets, baby. But I feel like tattoos are getting more and more accepted, if
Oh, yeah.
not expected. I'll see a jacked bald guy covered in tattoos and think, okay, yeah, he was meant to look like that.
Remember
For
when
me,
Fish
the idea of
Fear Me?
being a badass tattooed guy with a sketch pad and a beanie and ripped jeans and a beaded bracelet always seemed cool to me. But like most people, when it came to tattoos, I had reservations. Ooh, this is gonna be on my body forever? What if I hate it? I had an idea once of getting these 5 Magic the Gathering symbols tattooed on my forearm. I even dotted them out in Sharpie once just to give them a test drive. But I ultimately decided not to get them because I was worried in 5 years I would go, oh, these? I was really into Magic the Gathering in my 20s. Not anymore, though, so now every morning I wake up with impending feelings of shame and remorse that I even decided to get this thing. And I didn't want that to happen, even though I've been playing Magic for over 15 years, and it means a lot to me, and I'm going to be buried with my sliver deck, and... Alright, maybe I should just get it.
Yeah.
Even
Facts.
though people
Just
know that
do it, bro.
tattoos are permanent, there are still way more bad tattoos than there should be. One time I saw
Yes.
this picture of someone's tattoo on a bad tattoo subreddit, and I thought it'd be funny to prank my family group chat by photoshopping that tattoo onto my arm. And then I thought it'd be funny to post that picture onto Instagram. I didn't think anyone would fall for this poor excuse of a Photoshop job, but then the internet and my family proved me wrong. Immediately, I started getting phone calls from my parents, and even my book agent rang me up and was like, "Did you actually get that tattoo?" No, it's not a real tattoo. I mean, it is a real tattoo, but it's on someone else's body. That's their cross to bear. I can only imagine what that person's family and book agent went through. My parents were not supportive of me getting tattoos.
Right.
But whose are, am I right? Some people, like my parents, say that your body is like a temple, and getting tattoos is like putting graffiti on it. Which, sure, okay, that's why I paid a professional graffiti artist to paint my temple exactly how I wanted. Also, you can't tell me not to deform my body when that's exactly what you did before I was even 24 hours old. Also, Jesus had piercings, and he loved showing them off to his buddies, so I think he'd be chill with a little tattoo. After much thought and deliberation, I finally settled on what my first tattoo would be. This was going to be permanently inked onto my body for the rest of my life. I got a tattoo in Courier New. Luckily, the artist was able to finish this in one session. It took quite a while, almost 5 whole minutes. Now let me explain why I got it. It was so that if anyone ever asked me, "Do you have any tattoos?" I could go, "Why, yes, I do," and then roll up my sleeve, and then I'd go, "Ha, ha, ha." When I showed off my tattoo on Jaden's Streamathon, there was one comment that said, "James having tattoo actually tattooed onto him is exactly the kind of tattoo I expected James to have." And that made me...
That
that
is
is
facts.
facts.
That's like, as soon as he said that and showed
Look at
that
the
picture, I was
heart
like,
blush.
yes. The Blaziken from her Pokemon Nuzlocke video up there too. Nice little,
Oh my god.
yeah. That
feel
is
Not the
really
Courier
good because that
New,
meant the
too.
tattoo fit my vibe. And the second reason I got the tattoo was because I wanted to rebel. Since tattoos were frowned upon growing up, I wanted to have one just to have one. So I got a tattoo with no meaning whatsoever, which, in a way, is the meaning. Even though the tattoo was small and usually covered up by my sleeve, I still felt anxious about getting it. And I continued to feel that way for about a week after I got it. It was a jump scare every time I saw it in the mirror, and I would look at it closely and go, yep, that's really in there. I sure hope I don't regret this. But then, after some time, the tattoo just became a part of me. Like, I didn't look in the mirror and go, yep, there's James and tattoo. I would go, yep, there's James. Full stop. And from that day on, I loved giving people advice on tattoos. As a marked man myself, I think you should absolutely get that Shadow the Hedgehog full back piece. YOLO, remember? What? You're worried that it's going to look bad when you're 70? Yeah, it's going to look bad when you're 70. You're 70. Don't think about how bad it's going to look. Think about how much you're going to enjoy it from now to when you're 69. I've known people my age who still hide their tattoos from their parents.
Yeah, so that was my whole thing of why I started getting tattooed as soon as I hit 21, because I knew that I wanted 2 full sleeves from the time that I was 16 years old. I knew I didn't care what was actually on them. I just knew that I wanted 2 full sleeves with a couple of different ideas for styles that I definitely wanted to incorporate, which is why I have Japanese geometrical tattoos and tribal. Those are the 3 things that I wanted, and I have them all now. They're just still empty spaces left to fill out, which we're planning on that stuff. And it's like, I don't want to wait because I want to actually be able to enjoy having them throughout my young adult life. That's kind of the whole point, to have them. Yeah. Because like you said, eventually you just stop worrying about the fact that you have them. Yeah. Like now, it's just, yes, this is what my arms look like now. That's all there really is to it.
Because I think it's funny, like I remember, like I got all the places that I could cover up, minus my back, because I do really, really want to do a full Japanese back piece. Yeah. But I told my mom I would wait. And that was kind of the same for my arms. Yeah. Because I wanted to at least get 1 full sleeve. Yep. If not both, I wanted at least 1 full sleeve. And I told her, and because she was like, don't do that, because that's there and it's masculine and stuff like that. But that was also back like way back in the day. And it's like, I don't fucking care. And I was like, okay, if I still want a sleeve when I'm 30, I'm going to do it.
Here we are.
Yeah. 31. I'm starting the sleeve.
Starting the sleeve
and
now.
She's like, full circle for it. Like, she loves it and she's here for it. And it's so funny.
I did the same thing. I also appeased my family to the extent that I started with my tattoos in places that I could easily hide if they were really like, you might need to hide that. So I started with my upper arm so that I could cover it with sleeves at any point in time. I got this entire part of my arm done, and then the day that I got this piece done, this geometric piece done, was the day that I was like, listen, I'm getting my fucking sleeves. It's happening now. It's going to happen. It's just
so after we get married, I could start the process of getting my back piece. Because that was the whole thing. Because I remember she was like, you're going to want to not do that so you can get a backless dress when you get married.
I remember your mom saying that. Yep.
Okay. So after I get married, I'm going to do my back piece.
You're not backless dressed.
But like the honest prodigal son that I am, I wasn't going to be doing that. But the next time I visited my parents, I walked into their house, and the very first thing my mom said to me was, do you have any tattoos? She beat me to the punch. What? Why would you ask that? Because last night, I had a dream that you came home and were covered in tattoos. So, which one of you incepted my mom? God? God? I said, are all tattoos bad? Yes. All of them are bad. Even this one. And I rolled up my sleeve and revealed my massive tat. And her reaction was, well, it's not the worst word to have permanently inked on your body. Later on, she said, if you go to a Star Wars party, you could change it to Tatooine. So I think she took it pretty goodly. Now, some of you might be thinking that my epic sleeve of a tattoo isn't that big a deal. It's tiny and can only be seen if I'm swimming or boxing or wearing a tank top. But you see, after getting tattooed, I experienced what people in the tattooing business call catching the bug. After seeing how much I liked my first tattoo and knowing that I could handle having a tattoo, I was ready to get something badass. I set up a big boy tattoo appointment with an artist I liked, and when I was in the tattoo shop, the artist asked, "Is this your first tattoo?" "Is this my first tattoo?" No, sweetheart. I think I know a thing or two about tattoos. So, without further ado, I would like to debut this out-of-the-blue tattoo. You know, from The Dark Crystal, the Jim Henson 80s puppet movie that
scares
I
you.
did a video on it years ago. Now I have the best character permanently inked onto my skin forever and ever.
Nice.
That movie will always hold a special place in my heart, and now it'll hold a special place under my skin. And now, whenever I show someone the Chamberlain, we end up talking about the Dark Crystal, which is great because that's what I wanted to talk about anyways. I think I just discovered an autistic conversational cheat code. When I was getting it done, the artist asked me if there were any other tattoos that I wanted to get, and I said, why, yes, I do. I wanted to get the computer from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, because I also love that series, and because I'm a computery guy. And I didn't realize until as I was explaining it to the artist that both of these characters are puppets. So I don't know what that says about my psyche. I never thought that I liked puppets that much, but if anyone wants to psychoanalyze me in the comments, that'd be great. And speaking of YouTube comments, I know a lot of people are going to bring this up, so I'm just going to address it right now. You probably noticed that Chamberlain isn't holding his iconic triangle scepter. Yeah, I already know that. That's because he's holding the Emperor's scepter. It's like my own little headcanon. He got to be the Emperor because he's cool and awesome. And come on, Dark Crystal fans. You think I don't know my lore? I didn't get the wrong scepter or anything. You think I'd get something wrong about the Dark Crystal? Okay, you want to know what happened? I own a Chamberlain statue because, of course, I do, and I took pictures of it to send as a reference image to the artist, and I totally forgot that I accidentally broke off his triangle scepter, and now, because of that, he's holding an entirely different scepter on the tattoo. But you know what? I don't care. This one's better. It's a more clear silhouette. Now, this time when I went to show my parents the tattoo, I don't know exactly what I was hoping for, but I wanted to see some dramatic pearl clutching. You know, just some real disappointment. Chamberlain had to be split up into 2 sessions, and I only got one done when I went to Arizona for a wedding. I saw my mom, and she didn't immediately ask me if I had any more tattoos. God didn't tattle on me this time. I told her, "Mom, I gotta tell you something, privately." "What is it?" "I need you to keep a secret from Grandma." "Okay, I'm serious. Grandma can't find out about
specifically from Grandma.
Hey, look, it's Chamberlain. And I showed her the unfinished tattoo, and she went, "Oh, do you even like the Dark Crystal that much?" I mean, yeah, the plot's kind of mid, but it's a cool world. Why were you more upset about my fake Baby Yoda tattoo than my real Dark Crystal tattoo? She didn't care, and neither did my dad. And you know what? I actually showed my grandma too, and she liked it. I can't make these people mad no matter what I do. One of my cousins is a tattoo artist, and I was talking to him about tattoos, and my mom said, "Oh, you should get your cousin to finish it." And even he said, "Do not do that." Speaking of tattoo advice, if you're thinking about getting a tattoo, I think you should wait. Obviously, it's your body, your choice, but with the minimum age of tattoos being 18 and in some states 16 with parents' permission, I just can't imagine being happy with any tattoos 16-year-old James could think of. All I'm saying is that I'm glad I waited and gave myself time to really know if this is what I wanted. And it was. I know you're young and you want to look as hardcore as possible, but you can still get a tattoo when you're like 23 and it'll look good. Trust me. No matter what tattoo you get, it's a way to express outwardly to the world what you like, what you want to remember, and who you are. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm about to get a full back piece of my grandma's face. There's literally no way my family wouldn't love that. Thank you all for watching.
I could believe him doing that, though.
Yes, for real. I agree with James's whole thing of... Oh, no.
Oh, God. Oh.
You got this, baby. I believe in you.
Oh no.
There
We're
we
safe.
go.
Okay.
I agree with James. This whole thing of like, if you are, I would say under the age of 21,
Yeah.
just wait.
Yeah.
Unless, and this is the only exception I can think of that I'd be like, no, absolutely, full stop, go for it. If you have been following an artist that does a specific style, like they do super deep black geometrical shit, something that's just a stagnant design,
Yeah.
and they're just like, hey, if you want something in my style for like, and they're like in town for a convention or something, do that shit. Just
Yeah.
go ahead and get that shit done. I mean, it's probably gonna be a pretty penny, but it's gonna be some really nice art that's gonna stick around and look good for a really long time on your body.
Yeah.
Just fucking go for it. It's fine. Maybe get it somewhere where you can easily make up like a back piece or something. Just be careful back.
It's funny though, because like I was thinking about like tattoos that went through in my head where I was like, oh, I want this, and it's like I didn't do that, which I'm glad I didn't do that.
Mm-hmm. See, that's the thing. I never had any like specific design in mind when I knew I just wanted tattoos. I just want tattoos in general.
Yeah, I had two. Like I wanted the one generic one that I wanted back when I was like a kid, like a teenager, was the wings, because I saw that and I was like, oh, that's so cool, and I'm so glad I didn't do that.
Yeah. That got played out.
There was another piece I was gonna do, but it was like, still maybe that'd be a cool idea. When I was younger, I wanted to do a memorial piece for my pets.
Yeah.
And
we were talking about that one.
the peacocks, and instead of the peacock feather eyes, do each pet's eye and that. And I think that was a cool idea. I didn't do that though. Still would like to do that or something similar.
Yep.
But yeah, those were the only two that I remember. That I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. The wings one was funny because that's such an iconic like 2000s like thing. Like some of the girls would get the stars or whatever, the leopard print, and it's like, no, I saw the wings. I was like, hell yeah, that's the one. And then I still want my Lord of the Rings tattoo.
Make that your back piece. Get a whole Lord of the Rings back piece.
I want all the dragons.
Make that your other sleeve then.
Just a sleeve full of dragons.
Do a Lord of the Rings
Because
themed sleeve, and then the other one Japanese like you want to do.
Yeah, because I want the oh fuck, what's his name? Oh yeah, Smog. Because I have the Funko Pop over there. I have a thing for dragons. I love dragons. I want Smog. I want the Nazgul. I want the Harry Potter dragon. There's another dragon I wanted. I was like, yeah, that one.
The blue eyes white dragon.
Norbert. Oh, do you remember Hagrid's little Norbert? Oh.
Again, Otaku fam, let us know down below if you are also tatted up like we are, and what is your favorite tattoo that you have. And we will see you guys for the next video. Bye.